This video is made possible by the following sponsors. Make sure to check out their products as well as the rest of my gear in the description below.
Hey guys, Intermittent Video Boy here, and welcome back to Assetto Corsa for another video. So you guys seem to really dig me trying and failing to beat the new lap record around Monza, of course set by Kimi Raikkonen, the 19.1. So I thought let's roll back the clock a little bit and try and break the previous record, a 19.5 set by Juan Pablo Montoya in 2004. Now in AC we don't actually have access to that particular Williams, but we do have access to the next best thing, which is the Ferrari F 2004. The time for me to beat in today's video is a 1:19.525. Now, I'm unsure how close I'm going to get because, as you guys know, hot lapping is not my specialty. But I'm very interested to see how you gain time in there compared to the 2018 counterpart. I'm very much expecting a lot of the time to come on the straights rather than in the corners. We'll start off with a baseline low downforce setup just to put in a banker lap and see whereabouts we are, and then we'll try and work towards that record. So here we are then in the Monza pit lane inside the F2004 once more. Now, I'm running, as I said, a very simple low downforce baseline setup, which I'm not sure how it's going to be yet. It's actually my first time driving this car on track for a very long time, so don't expect heroics on the outlap and our first time lap, but immediately the noise, oh man. Never ever going to beat the V10, I think, in terms of noise. The V12 is good and all, but the V10 is just, I don't know, it just sounds better to me. Maybe that's nostalgia talking, it probably is, but we'll try not to dwell on it for too long. Curva Grande for the first time. Now watch the speedo. It just doesn't stop climbing. There's 200 miles an hour, gone. Easy. 340 Ks braking into the De La Rosa chicane, and I am really bad through there. I can already tell the downforce balance isn't quite where I want it to be. It's quite rearward right now, which means I've got a ton of understeer through the first Lesmo. This means early braking, I think, early apex, and then focus on exit. Nice through there. Again, watch that speedo. It just continues. 330, 340, nearly 350 before braking. For a scurry wheel on the grass, not ideal. Soft, 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 soft. You can pretty much see the understeer as I go through there. Luckily, we've got infinite cosmic power to back us up. You've got to think that today's cars have ERS and DRS down the main straight, and they still don't hit the top speeds these things did. 900 plus horsepower behind us, propelling us along down the straight anyway. First time lap. This isn't going to be a flyer. Just a banker for now, just to see whereabouts we stand. 350 Ks, 355 before braking for T1. Brake at the 150. Heavy on the brakes there, quite a rearward brake bias. The understeer on throttle there, traction control doing its job but pushing me wide. Traction control, of course, was used on these cars, so we are being realistic by using it. Second chicane again. Turning early. Yeah, got to release the brake or the car just goes full on forward, which we do not want. First Lesmo. Nice and tight on the entry, and then quick on the exit, same for the second. Something we've got to sort out there. Again, we're having a lot of understeer. I'd rather have oversteer, to be honest, and let the traction control deal with it. But already, not a bad lap. Oh God, on the grass there. Just for some context, my last lap I set in this thing was a 24 something about a year ago actually, so hoping to be a little bit underneath that, considering that I've got to be getting a 19.5 to be today's objective. Parabolica. Wow, there's an apex there somewhere, Jimmy, and you're not finding it. Okay, we'll run wide and exit. Come to the start-finish line, we'll look at our time. It is a 1:23.562. So at the moment, I am 4 seconds away from where I need to be in terms of time. Now, some of that is going to be set up, a lot of that is going to be driver ability. And hopefully that will come to me as we get on in this video. Again, that's pretty much my first lap in this car for a few months, so don't judge me too harshly for the bad time. Okay, so attempt number 2 coming up. A couple of downforce balance changes. It's now more towards the front than it is to the rear. A couple of ARB changes as well, anti-roll bar, just to try and help the rear get round a little bit. And a tiny bit more downforce at the front now, so we're going to be a bit slower in a straight line, but hopefully faster overall. Anyway, let's see how we do. P1. Braking later than before, but on the curb. Wow, that's scary. So curbs are a no-go. Lost a bit of time over the first chicane there, but that's good to know. I can brake a little bit later there. I sort of second-guessed myself. If you go back and watch my brake input, I got on it, then got off it again. This thing can stop if it wants to. There you go, nice over. Second chicane, definitely gained a bit of time there. Ah, Jimmy, come on. You can see that the balance of the car is shifting massively. I'm now sliding it around some of the Lesmos, which is nice. It means I've gone a little bit too far in trying to fix that. Need to bring it back a little bit more towards the rear. Easy through Ascari, on the curb, all the way through. That's a bit messy through there. Already a second up though. Shows you just how much different those small changes have made around here. Now there is definitely some time in the parabolic. I can't brake as late as I did in the modern F1 car. Still a bit wide there. You see the car being brought into the apex by the brakes. Didn't actually gain any time through there. Still a bit messy, but across the line we're going to go about a second quicker. 1:22.5, so now 3 seconds off the our objective time for today. I think there's definitely more time in this setup, so I'm going to very quickly just do that little tweak, move the downforce balance again a tiny bit closer to the front, and then see how that affects our lap time. Downforce balance has been shifted. Let's see how we do. Parabolica feels, I still need to turn in earlier for that, I think, on my flying lap, but here we go. So it'll be a tiny bit faster in a straight line now. And once I have the downforce where I want it, we'll start working on the suspension a bit, I think. Anyway, focus on braking. Bit heavy on the curb there, but still quicker through there. So you can see the relative on the top of our steering wheel already 3/10 up just through the first chicane. Now we're going to extend that coming through Cava Grande because we have a little bit more grunt. And heavy braking. Hear the exertion as I try and step on that brake pedal. Nice through there, nice and clean. Avoid the curb on the entry there, upsets the car. Same here, the second one. You can use a lot of the exit there. Already half a second up, just with a small downforce tweak and a bit better driving. Definitely some time in the Ascari to be had. So we'll go find it. Saying that, a bit wide there. Decent exit. I think we've still gained a bit of time there, but it just felt a little bit sloppy on the entry. Parabolica, where I've been losing a lot of time so far. That's better, a lot cleaner, a lot smoother. Car didn't move around so much, and we gained about 3/10 for it across the line. That's a 1:21.7, so nearly 2 seconds off now, but you're seeing just how the time comes. It comes in finding the intricacies of the tracking of the car, and firstly having a baseline setup that you're happy with, and then making small changes from there. Don't make drastic changes unless you know the circuit very well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a look at some suspension settings. I want to use some of these curbs a little bit because I think there's some time in attacking the curbs. Other than that, there's not much more time for me to find in driving at the moment. I mean, of course it will come, as it always does, but I can tell I'm already in that last second, half a second or so of my own ability. The rest has to come with setup. So the goal of my tuning there with suspension was to just try and make it a bit more reactive on turning. Give me a little bit more bite at the front. Whether this works or not, I'm unsure. But I guess we'll see at the end of this lap. Across the start-finish line, I'm going to try and brake a little bit later into T1, about the 140, 150, 130-ish. We'll try 140. About there. Yep, it's about as late as you're going to do it. Nice on the curb. We gained about 2/10 there, so a lot in the braking. Keep it nice and tight through here. Line of least resistance. Here we can match our pace through the La Rosa chicane. Clout the first curb, not too bad. Lost a bit of time on exit. Car is dancing at the rear when I hit the brake. Maybe I've gone a bit too far with the reactiveness there. Front end starting to suffer a bit. We're about 3/10 up still, so not a bad progression. Get off the grass, Jim. That's a stupid mistake to make. Nice line through there this time, so hopefully give us a better exit. Yeah, I was a little bit, it gave us a slightly better exit at the expense of mid-corner speed, so we lost another couple of hundredths. It happens. Car just sliding on the way, and I'm trying to carry as much speed as possible. So it's going to be a small improvement there. There's still time in the setup, definitely, but we're now on a 21.5, so we are now about 2 seconds off the time. What I'm going to do now, because as in the last video I said, I can spend a long time sitting here and tweaking individual suspension settings and trying to go a bit quicker. I'm going to load up a time which is apparently good for a 1:19.2, which would actually beat the record. But can I do it? That's the thing. So just making my way out of the pit lane now on this pre-made setup. And interestingly enough, it's running quite a bit more downforce than I was running. Top speed is going to be down by about maybe 10 k's or so. But I'm hoping what that means is that throughout the lap I'm going to gain time in places like the chicanes, the Lesmos, through the Scari, and that will add up to a faster lap time. But yeah, we'll get onto our hot lap and we'll see what it's good for. Oh, much quicker first lap anyway. 6 tenths up or near as makes no difference. 21.0, 1.5 seconds off. Let's see what else it has. That's all I got. That's all I've got, a 1:20.873. As you can see by the lap counter, that's my 28th hot lap attempt. And after the initial one with the new setup, I just couldn't go any faster. I kept losing time seemingly everywhere. I just didn't quite have the same performance, so I very quickly dropped some downforce off, and I found that I was starting to get near the time again. But the lap time he's put up of a 19.2, there's no video of it, and I have no idea how he's done it. I've seen someone do a 20.7 on video, and that's probably a bit nearer to what I'm capable of doing. But right now, for me, a 20.8 is the best I can do, which is 1.3 seconds off the record set by Montoya, and gives you some context as to how bonkers that was in the time period. But guys, hope you enjoyed that video, even if I have failed twice in a row now to get the objective I set out to do. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos, and of course hit the bell icon as well, because that way you get notified of whenever I go live or whenever a new video comes out. I'll pop this setup, or a link to it anyway, in the description so you can give it a try for yourself. Take care, have an awesome day. See you all next time.